the Samsung Galaxy S4 and the iPhone 5, and I'll try to do a few things to show you the difference. So let me first of all make sure my camera is getting this. So this is the Moto X over on this side. And one thing you see, it might not be coming across on the webcam, but this is noticeably, the Moto X is noticeably brighter and clearer. Clearer being there's not a color cast to it than the Samsung. The Samsung has a greenish cast to the whites, which doesn't exist on either the iPhone or the Moto X. You can see the resolution difference though. The Samsung is a bigger screen and has more resolution, more pixels across, and Waze is a great way to see that because you can see the maps just aren't even close to the same resolution. Um, and you can sort of,
Robert, the screens are pretty washed out. Maybe you can come at an angle a little bit on them.
yeah, let me try to adjust my brightness on my Logitech camera.
There you go.
Yeah,
That'll
that's
work
There we
right
go.
there.
that's better.
So um, I don't know why. Usually this Logitech webcam that I'm using is pretty good about locking down um, its intensity, but it seems to be failing me right now. Logitech's drivers are not always the best you've ever seen. Anyway, so let's try some other things just to show off some speed differences. And again, here you see the color is just it's more vibrant on the Moto X, even when compared to the iPhone. The iPhone has this muted feel to the color, to the vibrancy. I like the screen overall the best on the Moto X, except for resolution. If you had if you had a spreadsheet or something where you wanted to see more detail, then the Samsung is better. And I think that'll be pretty clear on all the demos that people make. So let me that's the iPhone there, and that's the Samsung, and that's the Moto X. And my Logitech is trying to focus on those two. So let's just compare these two because that's what we do. Let's say open up Chrome, and you can see how they react. And I've seen these other demos on on YouTube before, so I'm not really good at doing these live demos. Some of the other guys have much better systems to doing that. Oh shoot, I already did that. Come on. Oh, it opened up Google Plus. I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go to TechMeme. And it's really hard to do this while you're holding a camera. So let's try. Give me a website that I should go to that I usually don't visit. So
techwebcast.org.
tech.
That's Jesus Christ, Jack. You just,
Yeah, anything shorter.
he just did. No, that's the wrong URL, Robert. He put it's dot info,
Dot
mate,
info.
not dot org. Jacob, God.
.info.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dot info. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Tech webcast .info. All right, let's try. Let me just put the camera down for a second. Let me swear. Go in here. I don't know how I can stand this camera up so you can see them. So I'm going to just go on both of these at the same time. And the Samsung beat it by just a fraction of a second. So they're both pretty good, and the smoothness of scrolling up and down is similar. But you really see the brightness differences here on the new Moto X phone. So that's where that's where I was going with these spec things. People are oh, the specs aren't as good, and I'm like, does it really matter at this point? You know, if it pulls up a web page and lets me use Waze easily and about the same speed on both, I can't tell much of a functional difference between the two processors, the screens, other than I really like the brightness on this one. You can even see it on the webcam. So then the real killer feature is the voice stuff. So let me just try that. Try to see if you can see it. Okay, Google, now navigate to San Francisco.
Navigating to San Francisco, California.
Are you guys still seeing me?
Yes.
Yep.
So you don't even have to wait. You can just say, "Okay, Google now," and immediately give it the command.
Yep.
Northwest on Fairway Drive to Ward Bay Hill Road.
And there you can see. It got it right. Okay, Google, now where is the closest showing of Turbo? Now this is going to be interesting because
Turbo is playing at Century San Mateo 12, Century at Tanfrin, and 9 other theaters in Half Moon Bay.
Yeah. Okay, Google, now Mexican restaurants in Half Moon Bay. It's hard for you to see. Yeah.
Is there any indication? One of the questions I've got about the voice is there any indication for that Google moved or Android moved or whatever, Motorola moved closer to integrating some of the Google properties into the voice? So one of the challenges is that Google now works great for like navigation, looking some information up, but you can't necessarily post to Google Plus, through it yet. So, is there any indication this actually moved that
no,
forward at all, or no?
Not yet. It's similar to Google Now on your existing phone.
Okay, so they're not updating Google Now necessarily. It's just improving the voice.
Not yet. And they said they can only do singular commands. So I asked, well, am I going to be able to do something like okay, Google Now, open Facebook, and write a status message. Hello, Miriam.
Right.
And it won't do that. You have to do each step.
Yeah, you were just.
And it totally didn't even get that right. It said open Facebook and write a status message. It's really good when you're very clear. And have commands that it understands. So let's, okay, Google, now help me.
I got the Google Now thing on my Nexus 7.
Yeah. So you can see what kinds of things you can do. God, this webcam really sucks. You can make phone calls. You can get directions. You can see messages, you can send messages, you can control the clock, the built-in clock.
Alarm.
Let me see if I can adjust this.
How is it? Have you tested it in kind of noisy environments? Is it pretty good at rejecting?
It's really good. We were at the Ritz last night, and there was a singer and a lot of noise, a lot of crowd noise, and it was recognizing everything I was telling it. That was pretty good. Let me just see if I can adjust this thing a little bit more. Turn it off. Can I adjust the focus? Oh yeah, that might. Let me just see if I can do.
So in your mind, the voice kind of emphasis is kind of the killer feature for the Moto X right now. That's the best.
Yeah, this is the killer feature. So let's see if I can continue scrolling down. And let me lock it on my.
And it's really just that it's quicker, right? That you just launch it with a okay.
Well, in California, it's illegal to touch your phone, so it's not just that it's quicker; it's that you can do it at all, right? So let me just read some of these things. So you can set alarm. You can get more voice actions, like open the calendar app. You can Google web results. So right now, it doesn't have very many primitives in it. And let me change the.
Now, if you're in your car and you're connected to your Bluetooth, for example, can you command it through the car's built-in mic and so forth?
Yes, you can. Yeah. Yeah. Which
Well,
is
by
a
all
huge
accounts, by the Moto X putting so much emphasis in voice, it at least appears to me that's the direction Google and Android is going to continue to develop, to go more hands-free, more contextual, more.
And I think that's why I was more excited by it than other people, because I'm used to this world now with Google Glass where you have to talk to it. And I know its limitations. It pisses you off when it has limitations, when you ask it to do something and it doesn't know what you're trying to do. And Siri has the same problem. I mean, if I ask Siri, you know, who's checked in on Foursquare, neither system knows what I just said, even though we all know what I just said. And there is an API for that, and there is an answer for that. You know, it just isn't hooked up, and the intelligence to deal with these things. I'm on a webcam. Yeah. Oh, she wants her phone back. Okay. Yeah, it has a lot of limitations, and so does Google Glass. And I hope that they roll out a lot of innovation in voice in the next year to catch up to what our new expectation is. Because when you give us these features of talking to the internet now my expectations of what voice should do completely changes. Because I want to sit at the Ritz and go, can you okay, Google, now can you bring me a hamburger? And
absolutely.
And of course, it recognizes what I said properly.
Mm-hmm.
Making me hungry.
You know, but because it's not hooked up, there's no infrastructure to bring me a hamburger. There's nobody, you know, waiting, you know, with a system in front of them, and there's no indoor positioning systems built, and it just doesn't do anything useful, right? Now, you know, I'm starting to see companies eating away at this, right? Uber lets you order a taxi or a ride on your mobile phone, and it comes to you. And so does Halo and Lyft and a bunch of competitors, right? I just interviewed a company that does healthy food deliveries, and eBay now in San Francisco lets you deliver anything from eBay stores or a certain set of stores from San Francisco, and on and on. Amazon and Safeway have grocery stores that'll bring stuff to you. But we're at the early days of that, and that expectation has not yet been fulfilled, and it leaves you with a feeling like it's not as good as it could be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why this webcam just is not listening to me. Oh well.
That's a lot of whiteout.
Well, that's because that's from when you held the phone up.
Yeah, it's the Logitech drivers just really suck on the Mac. So anyway, I got to get to go, and now it's not even focusing anymore. So I'm gonna cut it free. Is there anything else that you guys wanted me to see if I could?
What's the 4G like, Robert, on the phone?
The what?
4G.
It's as fast as the Samsung. I haven't noticed any human difference. I'm sure if I really put a camera on these and did a bunch of tests, there might be a minor difference. But some people did already a video comparison of the S4 to the Moto X, and they found the Moto X to be a little faster. I can't tell a difference. So it's.
And so far, battery life seems to be okay?
Yeah, the 24-hour claim seems to be very accurate. I didn't even charge it up, and it lasted all the way till this afternoon. And I just charged it up for an hour and a half, and it's back up to 52%. So after a 3-hour charge, you should be back fully charged.
So if you take the $199 price point and figure that this is $199 and S4 is $199 and HTC One's $199 right on contract, which phone would you buy?
For Android right now?
Yeah, those three. Let's say those three.
Yeah, I would go with the Moto X today. But that's a tough question because I've already switched over to the Android side of the fence, and that was a real hard switch for me personally because I had so many apps and 7 years of memory in my fingers.
Yeah.
And that Android still bites you once in a while. Now it's interesting that on AT&T this has a different dialer than my Samsung, but the Samsung dialer really sucks. And let me see if I can pull that up.
What do you mean by dialer?
When you're trying to dial a call. So the Samsung has a different UI, which is sort of interesting, and part of the Android fragmentation. But once in a while, the Samsung will just freeze up and not let me make a call at all, and I'll have to reboot the phone. Nothing like that has ever happened to me on the Apple side of the fence.
Robert, you're sharp right now. Can I get a screenshot?
Sure.
Screenshot of that. Yeah, view. Okay. Because I want you with the glass. 1, 2, 3. All right, got it.
Perfect.
And so far, I haven't had the dialer is completely different on the Moto X, at least on AT&T. Now next week I'm going to get a Verizon version, so we'll see.
The Moto is the black one there, right?
The Moto X is the black one, yeah.
Yeah, it looks exactly like my dialer. That's the 4.2.
But so for normal people, I'm still recommending staying with the iPhone because it doesn't bite you, and the app system overall is better. The app ecosystem is better, and most of my friends now have Apple TVs and not Chromecasts, although that's starting to change. So as of today, I'd say it's really between the Moto X and the iPhone. I have an HTC One too. Probably should have pulled that out, but I've had problems with reception on it, so I need to send that back and see if that's an HTC issue and not an AT&T one. What else? Voice quality. I like both of them.
I'm at the end of my contract, and so would you say wait and see what Apple comes out with?
Are you an Apple guy or an Android guy?
I'm using I have a 4S right now.
Yeah.
iPhone 4S.
Man, I'm an Android guy now. I'm pretty happy with the side of the fence, and for a few reasons, because there's I'm using the Everything.me app launcher, so things like sushi. So the whole screen changes based on what I put in there. So now you see sushi, and now you see it pulled up Yelp and Food Spotting and pulled up all these web apps. This one feature alone makes the Android side of the fence superior to the Apple side of the fence. But it depends who you are. My wife doesn't care about that. I do. I care about the voice because I drive so much, and so being able to talk to the phone and have it call or navigate or do the basic stuff is a big deal to me. I had buttons in my car for Siri, and most people don't go to. And I have a holder on my dash for the phone, so I can see Waze and stuff like that. So it depends who you are. I think most people are going to be pretty damn happy with this. By the way, one thing Apple always nailed was the feel of the phone in your hand, and it's nicer in my hand than the Samsung. And it comes up to fit and finish, feels really nice, and the different.
So it feels solid. It feels solid.
Yeah, it feels really nice and smooth all the way around.
It has a curved back too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has a curved back, which is probably why they have a big battery in there. You can see the curve.
It's a pretty substantial curve to it for a phone.
Yeah, compared to the Samsung.
Yeah, it feels more like you're holding a piece of glass or something.
Yeah, you can even see you can see the curve underneath.
Yeah.
And I like the feel of it. By the way, this new photo feature where you can just twist it
cool.
and turn on the camera. That's really cool, and it's less of a deal for me because Google Glass wearers can take a photo in less than 1 second. You know, I can just touch it and take a picture, and I just took a picture of you guys. The older phones, just to turn them on and find that button and then get to where you can take a picture, takes 3 to 18 seconds. Somewhere
I missed
in there.
the old camera hardware button. I missed that so much. It's like my most missed hardware.
This is less than 2. I've tested it. It is noticeably
with the
faster
iPhone,
than,
you just hit the button and swipe up. I mean, that's pretty quick.
It's pretty quick, but it's 3 to 4 seconds on an iPhone, and you have to practice it, and you have to know that button's there. And my wife didn't even know the button was there, which is sort of funny because she would.
In the launcher widgets, it's nice.
Yeah,
to
she would go through the. She would go through her lock screen and then go into the camera app, and by the way, that's the Apple button. So yeah, if you want to use Camera Awesome or Camera Plus, now you can't use the Apple stuff, right? And that's also true here. If you don't like the Moto X camera.
Now, can you take the picture with the volume up button like you can with an iPhone?
I don't know if that's true or not.
Good question.
Yeah. No. They make you go into the camera, and then you can just touch the screen and it takes a picture. There is no camera button. You just touch the screen.
Yeah.
To take a picture.
That's kind of nice. You can basically focus and take the picture, I guess, at the same time. Does it lock focus right away as soon as you touch it and then takes the picture, right? Yeah. And they showed when they showed it to us, they showed that it does faster. It has a faster shutter than the other cameras on the market, so you get better for sports and stuff like that. And it seems to be pretty good in low light. I just haven't done enough tests. When I take it to Australia, I'll do a bunch of photos with both and see what I can learn about. Are you going to bump into Brad down under?
No, I'm going to Sydney. I think I'll see Brad on the next trip, which I think is in November.
Yep, that's gonna be good.
Then we're going to Melbourne for a conference down there. Anyways, I gotta go and pack because I have half an hour left before I have to leave.
Before you run, let me just get a straight up picture of just you without the phones. 1, 2, got it. Fantastico. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks.
Thanks, Robert.
Bye. Thanks very much. Bye.